Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Evolve podcast, supporting you to rise above all your limits, connect with the power of your soul, and give and receive more love in all forms. I am your host, Tanya Penny. I'm an occupational therapist, intuitive guide, divine channel, creator of the 10 Evolve Keys, and author of the Connect with the Divine You book and journals. And in today's episode, I will be talking about accessing your intuition. So let's start with just what is intuition and where does it come from? So, quite simply, intuition is your guidance system. And it comes from, people call it different things: your heart, your higher self, your soul, your spirit, your divine self. Whatever words you want to use or that resonates with you, but it is the part of you who is not conditioned by fear. It is not your ego. It is not the logical mind. So it's that other kind of, people often call it the feminine part of you as well. Okay, that doesn't mean that you have to be female to access it, but intuition is a feminine quality, and everybody has masculine and feminine. So in a nutshell, that's what it is, and where our guidance comes from. And the truth is, we are all intuitive. So I know some people think they're not, but the truth is we're all intuitive. We just receive our intuition in different ways. And the four main ways that we receive our guidance, our intuition, is hearing. So that's called clair. If you want to get fancy, it's called clairaudience. So that's a pretty strong one for me. We usually have one or two of these that is the strongest for us. And my hearing or my clairaudience is very strong. I can ask a question, especially if it's for somebody else, and I will hear such a clear answer, and it is usually spot on. So clairaudience, you hear yes or no. You hear other words. You hear, you ask a question, you hear guidance, you hear it. Another way is feeling, clairsentience. So you actually feel it in your body. So if you ask yourself a question that you want guidance on and you close your eyes, and I'm just going to give you a simple example here. You can ask the question, would it be in the highest for me to do this? And you might feel a heavy feeling, or you might feel a light feeling. You might feel constrictive or expansive. You might feel a ugh in your stomach, or you might feel like joyful butterflies. Okay, so everyone, even if you have this sense of feeling as your guidance, and that's one of my other strong ones as well, you might, everyone has it and can have it in different ways. But essentially, your body is letting you know, you feel in your body if something is true for you, good for you, right for you, or not, to do something or not. Seeing is another way that we receive our guidance, and that's called clairvoyance. So some people see visions, images, color, right? Auras. And dreams can also be a way that you are a seer. You might get dreams that are bringing guidance to you about something in the future for yourself or somebody else. I have a client that has that pretty strongly. So that's clairvoyance. And then we have claircognition, or just a knowing. So this is probably not one of my, I don't know if it's one of my strongest ones or not, but I often will also have just this knowing about something. It's like you don't even know where the information comes from. You just get this download and you know it is true, right? You just get this download of guidance. So those are the four main ways that you can receive guidance. Now, if you're not sure, and most people aren't, there is a good reason for that. So many of us have, from a very young age, either completely shut off our guidance system, or turned it down. And maybe you turned it down in one area of your life, receiving guidance in one area. Maybe you turned it down in all areas. So you get it, but it's not super strong and you don't listen all the time. And let me tell you like what some things are. We shut down or turn it off due to past negative experiences. So essentially we turn it down or off because of fear. Fear of making a mistake again or failing, because either someone in the past told you you made a mistake or failed when you followed your guidance, or you told yourself that. Usually someone else told you that first. Could have been a parent, a sibling, a teacher, etc. So we put that under what I call the category of the perfectionist, the part of you that's afraid of not doing it good enough, of making a mistake, afraid of failing. Another a reason why we turned it down is that it upset somebody else. And maybe you got in trouble, it caused conflict. That would go under the category of what I call the people pleaser part of you, is afraid that if you follow your guidance, if you hear it and follow it, that you're going to get punished, get in trouble, lose love, lose a relationship, lose your job, right? So it's afraid of not pleasing somebody and therefore not hearing it, or maybe you hear it but you don't follow it, right? So we hear it, or however you get it, we receive it, and then we are to follow it. So maybe you're one of those people that receives it, but you're just not acting on it, right? You're not following it. Maybe a combination of both. So another big reason why we are disconnected from our intuition, our guidance, is we are too damn busy. We are constantly doing. So if we're constantly doing, it's going to be hard to receive that guidance and possibly follow it as well. So let's talk about some simple ways that you can start connecting with your guidance again, your intuition system, and or turning it up as well. So maybe you're connected. Maybe you are connected, but you're not fully following it or acting upon it, right? So regardless of where you are in your intuition journey, these things are going to help you to turn it on, turn it up, connect with it, and follow it. So you're going to want to take some time if you don't know, first of all, if you don't know how you receive your guidance, you might want to take some time to reflect on that. So think back to maybe when you were a child is often helpful. And, did you see things? Did you hear things? How did you just kind of know things? So you might want to reflect on in childhood, what seemed to be the ways that you received. And if you don't remember, a lot of my clients don't remember their childhood. One way you can just start doing that now is taking some time every morning and closing your eyes and simply asking, right? Asking or writing, soul, higher self, whatever you're calling this part of you, divine self, spirit, how are you bringing me? Show me loud and clear. What are the ways that I receive guidance from you? What are the biggest ways I can receive guidance from you? And then some of you might see that image or a vision. Some of you might hear something. You might feel it in your body, or you might just have a knowing. So ask the question. And if you don't get an answer, just keep asking and trust whatever comes in. Oftentimes we'll discount things. Trust it. So taking time to reflect on what are your guidance systems? What ways do you receive? And then once you know that, take time every day to focus on and practice that skill. It takes practice. I remember when I, was diagnosed with MS, and that was one of my big wake-up calls, guiding me, right? The feeling in my body, guiding me back to listening to my body and what guidance it was having for me, right? So feeling is one of my primary ones. And also hearing, right? So when I had MS, and after 3 years, all of a sudden I was just getting worse. And all of a sudden I heard this voice one day that just said, let me show you a different way. And I listened. Crazy, but true. Whole nother story. So taking time every day to connect with your soul, your higher self, whatever you call that part of you, to connect with your intuition and ask questions, right? Ask questions. You can start with yes or no questions, start with simple things, and then move to bigger things and see what you get. And then continue to do that and see if there's a pattern, right? You might not trust it right away, but over time you will. So practice. Let's see. And you can also receive assistance from other people, right? So as we're building this skill again, as we're building this connection, we might want to go get clarity from other people. I know that I did that a lot at first, right? My spiritual mentor, one of my friends who's very intuitive, I would go and just double check my clarity. And a lot of my clients do that with me too. I support them to do that, is to get confirmation on their guidance, clarity on their guidance. All right. So another really important thing is to clear those fears I talked about, the reasons you turned off or turned down your guidance in the first place, your intuition in the first place, is you want to ask those parts of you that we talked about, what are you afraid of? Right? Is it your perfectionist, your people pleaser, your superhuman that constantly stays busy, focusing on everyone else's stuff? And we want to start to clear or soothe those fears. And one of the biggest ways we can soothe is telling those parts of you it's safe now. Now, they might not believe you right away, but they will over time. Again, planting the seed of what's true now. It probably wasn't safe in the past, but now the truth is it is safe, right? You're a powerful adult now. You're not a child anymore, right? And you can stand up for yourself. You're capable of supporting yourself and getting others to support you now too. And they won't likely be the people from the past, right? Those people probably still won't be supporting you. Maybe some are, maybe some have changed, shifted. That would be a blessing and miraculous and wonderful. So another big way to connect with your intuition is to get out in nature. Get out in nature. Nature is a huge force supporting you energetically, raising your vibration to help you connect with your intuition, whichever way you receive it, right? It's getting out, getting away from all the other gunk. And then accessing more joy, doing things that bring you more joy and pleasure will also help you access your intuition in a bigger way. So those are some simple things you can start with in a nutshell. And then for those of you that would like more support to connect with your intuition, to know what your guidance system is, right? If it's which of the clairs is it? And also to clear those fears that we've been talking about that can block you from hearing and or acting on, following your guidance, your intuition. There's a couple of ways that you can receive that support from me, and you can find those below. There's the Trust Yourself Key Program, Release the 3 Ps, which is helping to clear out or soothe those perfection, people-pleasing, and superhuman parts of you so that you can open up your intuition and your guidance channels fully again. And there's also some other ways below as well besides those. So again, I'm so happy that you are here listening to this. If there is anybody that you think would benefit from this, feel free to share it. And I just wish you lots of love and courage. And remember, patience. Progress, not perfection, and patience with building this skill, with turning it back on and turning it up again. All right. Love you guys.